lot of sense, but I just want to capture one, to see the men and women who have served the university graciously, wholeheartedly over the years, whose wisdom and vision have shaped what we are seeing now. It's beautiful to see them exchange handshakes and hugs and reflecting on what their hard work has resulted into. We thank you all. We begin the program with an opening prayer by inviting Reverend Dr. Patrick Kompa from the chaplaincy unit of the university.
Shall we rise for a word of prayer? Shall we pray? Almighty God, we thank you for the height that you have brought the University of Cape Coast and the good works that you are doing through management. As the university has purposed to launch the UCC at 60 Innovation Report 2023 to 2027 UCC Research Agenda, and to have a special award ceremony today, we ask for your presence. We commit all functionaries on the program into your hands. We ask that, Father, may you function through them. We commit the auditorium into your hands. We commit every aspect of the program into your hands. And then we ask that, Father, may you make everything beautiful to your glory. We thank you for an answered prayer. In the name of Christ Jesus, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Reverend Kompa, thank you. So on that note of prayer, we are very much assured that divinity will certainly go with us as we begin this very important milestone. We'll call on the registrar of this prestigious university, Mr. Jeff Te Onyame, to do the introduction of the chairperson and very important dignitaries that are in our midst. Please let's welcome him with a hand of applause.
Thank you very much, Amma. I guess the program says I'll introduce the chairman and then dignitaries. I want to believe that we'll do the dignitaries later. So I'll just introduce the chairman. And I'm fast becoming the introducer of the chairman. Maybe it's because the chairman is the chairman for all seasons. And so all the time, I have to be the one to introduce him. Now this is, as has become characteristic of me, I'll give brief introductions, and so this is going to be a very brief one. And so our chairman for the occasion obtained an LLB from the University of Ghana, an LLM from the University of Witwatersrand, South Africa, and a Juris Doctor from the University of Hanover in Germany. He has had an illustrious career as an academic, teaching in universities in Liberia, Nigeria, South Africa, and here in Ghana, where it all began. He has also served in several universities as external examiner, a peer reviewer of legal publications, and postgraduate thesis supervisor. He has carried out research and published extensively in the areas of constitutional and administrative law and human rights. He was project co-leader in a $1 million constitutional justice project at the University of Fort Hare in South Africa on the assessment of the impact of decisions of the Constitutional Court and Supreme Court of Appeal on the transformation of society. He was also the managing editor of Speculum Juris, an accredited law journal. He is currently a member of the editorial board of the US-China Review Law Journal in China and the Polish Law Review Journal in Poland. Our chairman has had vast academic leadership and management experience as head of department, founding director of the Human Rights Research Center, and dean or acting dean of various law faculties at universities in South Africa and Ghana, including UCC. He has held membership of various professional organizations and is currently a board member of the International Association of Law Schools and a member of the Global Law Deans Forum. He has since August 2017 been president of Wisconsin International University College, Ghana. From 2019 to May 2021, he was chairman of the Governing Council of the University of Education, Winneba, and has since August 2021 been the pro-chancellor and chairman of the Governing Council of the University of Cape Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our chairman, Professor Obim Reku.
The Omahini of the Ogwa traditional area, Osarberma Kwesiata II, Vice Chancellor, Professor Johnson Cobrampon, former Vice Chancellors of UCC, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rosemont Buhini, former Pro-Vice Chancellors of UCC, Registrar, Mr. Jeff T. Emmanuel Onyame, former registrars of UCC, special guest of honor, Ms. Hamdia Ismail, Nana, provost, deans, directors, heads of department, and other duty bearers of the university, representatives of government ministries, departments, and agencies, distinguished invited guests from universities and research institutions, faculty and students, the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everybody. I am pleased to chair this august occasion. I would like to warmly welcome our distinguished guests to our great university, the University of Cape Coast, the #1 ranked university in Ghana, West Africa, and globally for research influence. I would like to particularly welcome our distinguished keynote speaker, Ms. Hamdia Ismaila. We are happy to have you, Madam, to share your thoughts on the topic, and I quote, academia, industry innovation, matchmaking, practical steps for 21st century universities, end of quote. We have assembled here today to undertake 3 important and interrelated activities, namely, launching of the UCC at 60 Innovation Report, launching of the 2023 to 2027 research agenda of the university, and to present special awards to deserving individuals for their role in the exceptional achievement of the University of Cape Coast, particularly in the 2022 prestigious Times Higher Education World University Rankings, which placed the University of Cape Coast as the topmost ranked university in Ghana and West Africa, the 4th in Africa, among the top 350 universities globally, and the first globally for research influence. Research and innovation, ladies and gentlemen, are the fulcrum of socioeconomic growth and development of any country. Intense, pertinent, transdisciplinary research, which leads to innovation and discovery, has become the sine qua non of universities in the 21st century. Emerging challenges in the past several decades and those of the 21st century have brought to the fore the need for African universities to engage in critical research and innovations, which will translate into tangible and usable outputs to improve the quality of life and society on a sustainable basis. African universities and researchers are best placed to lead in the identification of their own developmental needs and produce social and technological innovations through the conduct of relevant research, which will provide solutions to local, national, and regional problems and advance the cause of humanity. The UCC at 60 Innovation Report, which will be launching today, demonstrates the university's contribution to social and technological innovations over the past 60 years of its existence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we are also launching the third research agenda, i.e., the 2023-2027 research agenda, which has been developed for the University of Cape Coast under the auspices of the Directorate of Research, Innovation, and Consultancy, otherwise known as DRIC. The 2023-2027 research agenda is an important policy and practice document which will guide research activities of faculty and students for the next 5 years. DRIC is convinced that research should not be the final objective of intellectual processes, but rather a component of the never-ending cycle of innovation to meet societal requirements. The University of Cape Coast, since its inception in 1962, has chalked a lot of successes. The most recent being the sterling performance on the maiden entry in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. These achievements became possible through strategic and visionary leadership of management, as well as selfless dedication of staff and students. Abraham Lincoln once said, and I quote, "A nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." End of quote. Indeed, a university that does not honor its heroes and heroines will not endure long. At this event, we will honor our heroes and heroines whose strategic leadership, scholarly acumen, hard work, and tenacity have made the University of Cape Coast proud. Aiko, and I thank you for your attention.
Let's appreciate the Council Chair once again for his very generous words. Say thank you. On a very official note, we will welcome the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Johnson Cobrampon, to welcome you officially and give us the purpose of our gathering this morning. Please let's welcome him.
Chapter. We'd like to stand on the protocol already established. Professor Chair, permit me to stand on the protocol already established and to say good morning to you all. I am delighted as the Vice Chancellor of University of Cape Coast to welcome everyone to this event. To our guests, I warmly welcome you to the ancient city of Cape Coast, to the number 1 ranked University of Ghana, in Ghana, West Africa, and globally in terms of our research influence. A special welcome to our distinguished guests of honor. We are delighted to have you in our midst. I hope you take time to explore our campus and enjoy the serene environment of a seafront university. We are gathered here this morning for 3 important reasons. First, to launch the UCC at 60 Innovation Report. Second, to launch the UCC 2023 to 2027 research agenda, which will reflect our scholarly engagement and thematic research area for the period 2020-2023 to 2020-2027. Third, we have gathered here to recognize some individuals for their unique role in strategic leadership, technical and administrative support, and research excellence, which have contributed to the enviable performance of UCC in its maiden appearance in the prestigious Higher Education World University ranking 2022. Throughout the past 60 years, the University of Cape Coast has contributed immensely to humanity and continues to do so in various ways. Our focus over the past 60 years has been informed by global trends in addressing complex existing and emerging challenges. In fulfilling its mandate, the university has produced international competitive research, scholarly outputs, and innovations across all its main disciplinary domains: education, humanities, and health, life, physical, and social sciences. As we celebrate the 60 years of our existence as a university, showcasing our contribution to humanity through innovation over the years gives expression to the quality of human capacity and intellectual endowment of our university. The university, through the Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy, DRIC, has compiled this UCC at 60 Innovation Report to celebrate our achievement in the past, as well as guide future commitment to our core. This report covers innovations in the arts, education, social sciences, health sciences, and the natural sciences undertaken by UCC faculty members over the past 60 years. The UCC at 60 Innovation Report further provides evidence of our commitment to research and scholarly outputs of international repute. This maiden innovation report is envisaged to improve the university's visibility, attract more research collaborations and partnerships with key industry players and other academic and research institutions, to accentuate and attain the research goals of the university while aligning its research output to local, national, and global relevance. There is a need to provide a blueprint that guides the research activities of faculty. The university's commitment to research and innovation was renewed in 2018, expressed in and driven by a 5-year research agenda, that is 2018 to 2022, which expires in December this year. The 2020-2023 to 2020-2027 research agenda, which is under the theme Transdisciplinary Research and Innovation for Sustainable Development in a Changing World, provides the roadmap for research that transcends traditional disciplinary boundaries and integrates the disciplines of education, humanities, natural, social, and health sciences. The agenda aims to guide research using novel ideas and processes to produce new and original outputs for societal benefits. Furthermore, the 2023 to 2027 research agenda is situated within Ghana Centennial Development Plan, NDPC Agenda 2057, the African We Want Continental Agenda 2063, and the Global Development Agenda, that is the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Today, it is undebatable that excellence in higher education, nationally, regionally, and globally, has become a defining characteristic of UCC. The prestigious Times Higher Education World University Rankings for 2022 has placed UCC as the #1 university in Ghana and West Africa. The number 4 in Africa and among the top 350 universities globally, and #1 globally for research influence. In the 2022 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, UCC was the only Ghanaian university in the top 1,000. I would like to take it again. In the 2022 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, UCC was the only Ghanaian university in the top 1,000. These achievements demonstrate our excellence and leadership in higher education across the globe. Last but not the least, at today's event, we will recognize some distinguished individuals who have made various contributions, particularly towards the sterling achievements of the university in the 2022 Times Higher Education World University Rankings. On behalf of the management, I wish to commend the dedicated scholars whose hard work and tenacity in the face of the scarce resources and limited infrastructure have produced these great innovations, as well as those whose scholarly research have earned the university the enviable accolades in the Times Higher World University Ranking. I would like to also thank the 2023 to 2027 Research Agenda Committee and the team that compiled our first ever innovation report for their dedicated service to the university. They've done well, so you should clap for them. I urge all stakeholders to continue to work hard to ensure that our university achieves its mission of becoming a university of worldwide acclaim. I think we have already become. You have become. Yes. On this note, I thank you for your attention.
Professor Cobrampon, thank you very much. We're going to take a musical interlude from the Department of Music and Dance from the University of Cape Coast. And as they do that, would you please allow the protocol team to direct you to the front? If there are empty seats ahead of you, please move down so that those who will join us late will not serve as forms of distraction. Please move down. Let's welcome the Department of Music and Dance here at UCC for a musical interlude. As we do that, as the protocol team ushers in new people, those of you who have already taken your seat, we see a number of empty seats ahead of you. Would you kindly move down? Let's do this exercise briefly. Please move down. Thank you. Please move down. Thank you very much. Those were from the Department of Music and Dance right here at the University of Cape Coast. That was very energetic. Thank you very much. I would invite the Deputy Director of the Directorate of Research, Innovation, Consultancy here at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Dorcas Obriyeboa, to do a very special introduction.
Professor Chair, again, as we usually say, permit me to stand on all the protocol established to introduce our guest speaker for this occasion. Our guest speaker is Ms. Hamdia Ismaila. She has over 21 years experience in finance and investments and over 14 years experience in venture capital and private equity investing. Over this period, she had led venture capital and private equity ecosystem development in Ghana through education and influencing policy and regulatory outcomes for the industry. She is currently the General Manager of Venture Capital Trust Fund, where she oversees the investments and general operations of the trust. Prior to joining VCTF, she served as a Deputy Director at the Ministry for Private Sector Development, where she led in the provision of business advisory services, financial arrangements, enterprise support services, skills development, entrepreneurship training, and promotional workshops for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Ms. Smiler is an experienced angel investor and someone who was very instrumental in the design of the Ghana Angel Investor Network, otherwise known as GAIN. She is also a director at the Ghana Angel Fund and a founder of the Lady Angel Network, which invests in women-owned or led businesses. She chaired the Ghana Task Force, which successfully led to the establishment of Impact Investing Ghana, and serves on the National Advisory Board for Impact Investing in Ghana. Through her instrumentality and policy impeccable leadership qualities, she now serves as a trustee of the Global Steering Group for Impact Investing. She has been at the forefront of impact investing over the last 8 years, working with stakeholders in promoting impact investing in Ghana. She is also a council member for the Ghana Alternative Exchange, a second-tier listing platform for SMEs on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and a member of the governing council of the Star Ghana Foundation. She is a fellow of the 2019 class of the Aspen Finance Leadership Fellowship and a member of the Aspen Global Leadership Network. She holds an executive certificate in private equity and venture capital from Harvard Business School, a master's of public administration from Columbia University in the city of New York, BBA from Morrow College, and an LLB degree from the Gimpa Law School. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Hamdia Ismaila.
Thank you, Professor, and a very good morning to you all. And standing on the shoulders of the leaders, I would say all protocol observed. Professor Chair and Chair of Council, the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, the past Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellors, the Provost, Deans, and Heads of Departments are here in present, faculty, and members of staff here in present, members all protocol observed. And I had already said a good morning to you. It is a great honor, and I'm particularly thrilled to be part of this event on the occasion of the launching of University of Cape Coast at 60 report, setting the agenda for 2023-2026 research, and a special award under the theme Academia, Industry, Innovation, Matchmaking, Practical Steps for the 21st Century Universities. How timely that is. But before I delve into the theme for today, let me first of all congratulate the Governing Council, management, faculty, staff, and students of the university for achieving the rank as the best in Ghana and West Africa, fourth in Africa, and first globally for research influence. You don't know what you've done. You make us proud when we are out there, knowing that Ghana is on the rank. It's very, very important. I think we are underestimating it. It deserves another big, applause. And this could only have been possible by the dint of hard work and commitment of staff and scholarly contribution of faculty towards the mission of the university. I am certain that every staff to be awarded today is excited, and it is the recognition required for staying the course. And so I urge you to continue and indeed stay the course. Professor Chair, the idea of a gap between research done in academia and its translation into marketable products certainly is not new. What is new are the steps some academic institutions and companies are taking to bridge the gap. And I dare say the gap in Ghana is huge, and we need to find ways of closing it. To put the speech into context and perspective, therefore, permit me to give a generic definition of my understanding of what innovation is. Innovation is the application of an idea, invention, technology, or process to a product or service that will satisfy a specific need and can be replicated at an economic cost. And so if we are innovating and we are not solving societal problems and we are not able to replicate it for the betterment of our society, we are not innovating. We have to innovate, and we need to ensure that we satisfy needs. And we live in a country where we have so many needs, numerous of them. And we know that importing innovation is not cost effective. And so we need academia to work with industry to ensure that we build innovative systems and processes in this country that is economical to us, for us to use to build this country that we all want to see. This implies that innovation must necessarily create value for both social and economic impact, in that it must improve the well-being of society at an affordable cost. Innovation provides a significant driving force and unique opportunity to address global economic pressure, unstable economic markets, accelerated exponential growth of scientific knowledge and technological complexities, and new consumer needs and expectations. Hence, fundamental research as the sole thrust of academia is no longer a sustainable approach. Instead, innovation must focus on the integration of both fundamental and applied research, technology development, new business models and processes, and enhance social responsibility. Otherwise, we are not going to grow. Professor Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the mantra innovate or die is no longer sufficient. Open innovation and innovation partnerships should be the theme for today's companies. And it must also be so for the academia. Open innovation has been defined as a paradigm that assumes firms can and should use external ideas as well as internal ideas. An internal and external path to markets as firms look to advance their technology. Open innovation is founded on the reality that in a world of vastly distributed knowledge and accelerated rates of development, companies can research. They must utilize outside sources and buy or license processes, technology, inventions, and solutions to solving societal problems. This brings me to the need for academia-industry innovation interactions. I mean, from what I have just said, it is evident that academia and industry need each other. And so why is that we don't have these partnerships already working? Collaboration is a key piston in the engine that drives economic growth. Value creation is the ultimate goal of any partnership. Without it, the concept holds no real merit for partners. There is the need to adapt the sharing is winning model in this regard. Despite the great potential of sharing is winning model, significant inroads still needs to be made in collaborations between industry and academia. Academia's long history of working in isolation is its different value chains and a general misunderstanding of industry partially leads to this staying at arm's length with industry. Industry's view of academia being too long largely exacerbates this arm's length approach, which has greatly undermined such partnerships to the detriment of our society. And I dare say that we need to change. It has to change. Professor Chairman, toward implementing significant changes in academia-industry collaborations and the pursuit of innovation, sharing in winning principle should be expanded and an overarching common vision should be developed. The new vision and shaping strategies should address the broad scope of innovation and furnish industry and academia with opportunities to seek improved means and tools to develop platforms that will maximize mutual efforts, enable participation, promote learning and societal responsibility, and lead to the creation of an innovation ecosystem. We need that. And academia should play a paramount proactive role in the conceptualization, deliberation, and design of this new vision and should contribute to its content. Today, we are launching the 2023-2027 research agenda for this university. Has industry been involved? The next 5 years, academia is thinking about the next 5 years. This morning I had a meeting with the pro vice chancellor. She said UCC is University of Competitive Choice. And I love that. And we are setting an agenda for innovation for the next 5 years. And I want to know whether industry has been involved. Because you see, money goes after where good ideas are. And if industry is involved in setting the agenda, there is the likelihood that industry will pay for some of the cost. Because funding has been a very key issue around research in academia. And we do have a lot of research here, but industry is not aware. Professor Chairman, I now turn to the paratactical steps required in academic industry interactions towards innovation and how we should be able to look at this. And this calls for several paradigm shifts, of which I highlight a few below. Mindset change. We need to shift in our mindset and remove some barriers in the way we work, and we must do that as a matter of urgency. Because the road from discovery, stemming from basic research to a commercial product, process, or service is long and rife with significant obstacles. Typically, a funding gap exists between basic research and commercialization. And to traverse that successfully, academia should recognize its cardinal role in reaching out to industry. And it must be proactive. Currently, the discourse is at arm's length. But we need to be more proactive in working together. Conducting and excelling in basic and fundamental research is a prerequisite. Crossing the valley of death by learning industry's needs and driving interventions at least past the pre-new product development stage until industry can pick it up is also paramount. And that is why industry should sit on the table when we are setting the research agenda. This partnership calls for both academia and industry taking a proactive role and participating in each step of the innovation to ensure that we are able to agree on, forward-looking in terms of how we want to deploy some of these new innovations or thinking coming up. So there is a need for a mindset that supports and promotes the seamless free flow of knowledge, technology, and solutions in all directions across universities and industry boundaries. In surmounting the valley of death, below recommendations for academia and industry are important. So we are looking at applied research. Enhancing the importance of applied research is imperative. Applied research also plays an important role by significantly contributing to teaching quality due to its focus on relevant topics. It can also contribute to and improve direct interactions between students and industry and create a magnet for resources that will further enhance collaboration. Ultimately, applied research can contribute to the university's reputation by offering numerous benefits, i.e., recruiting high-quality faculty, increased research funding, which has been a big problem, and possible breakthrough advances in fundamental research. To look at the academician's new role. The deep-rooted characteristics of a professor should be reassessed. We have had issues with academia because certain research does not pass for a promotion. And so, if you want to be a professor, you need to go and do the academic search. So if you're a robotic professor, you must write. You don't have to build a robot. Industry needs a built robot, not a research paper. So how do we get it done? We need to reassess. The professor should play a proactive role also in industry, motivated by the synergistic power of collaboration and driven by the overall goal of becoming a full member of an industrial team. We see it outside. When I was in Israel, I saw a lot of it. It's there in the US. When you go to Germany, you see it. Academia play big role in R&Ds in industry. We don't have it here. This approach could lead to significant outcomes, such as opening the doors for industrial internships for your students, for fellowship, advanced education, among others. You know, with the ballooning cost of equipment, access to sophisticated industrial laboratory equipment and resources is a huge and very significant benefit when there is this collaboration, because industry will buy them. We also have to look at industrial involvement. The new model of these kinds of partnerships call for industrial involvement, mainly of its experts, transforming the role to proactive one in teaching graduate courses, mentoring research, serving on university committees and boards, and contributing to strategic thinking of the universities. I asked, we are launching a 5-year research agenda for this university. This is the #1 university in Africa. It makes me very proud. And where is industry? So the next 5 years, you know, sometimes in this country, when we talk about the future, we think that it is far, far, far. No, the future is now. Yesterday is gone. So if we don't begin to look at it and begin to postpone the future, we are to start from somewhere. And we have to do it. Let me turn on to remaining paradigm shift. Intellectual property model. We've had issues of intellectual property, but it is the core of innovation. Innovation cannot exist without intellectual property rights. And this creates what is known as the golden knot. Resolving this issue is paramount. When universities elect to make academic discoveries, proprietary by obtaining intellectual property rights, and when they license those rights, they are demonstrating good stewardship. It is important to note that revenue generation from intellectual property rights should be considered in the overall context of network collaboration, partnerships, social impact, and optimal accessibility. Multiple and diverse adaptable intellectual property management strategies are therefore required. The university, I'm sure, may have an intellectual property office or something, a lawyer, and we begin to look at how we can begin to lead in this. It's very important. That's why sometimes the research doesn't come out, because the innovation around it is stuck within the university because of fear of somebody taking it, you know, and significant burden that rests on the shoulders of academician. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And calls for leadership by personal example. And we must start doing that. Let's look at the role of management. organizational changes to increase the likelihood of success. Counterpart management in academia should develop a strategy and sustain a culture that promotes collaborations, elevate and enhances the academic status of applied research and development. Random collisions and interactions among innovation contributors is not an option. We can't do this on random basis. The new mantra has changed to otherwise we aren't getting anywhere. To benefit from cross-fertilization and synergies. We need a needed trust. Learning and studying. Academic management should be aligned so that all stakeholders can split the effort. Let's look at the social responsibility part. For a business to create value for its shareholders over the long term, it must also bring value to society. That's why I've been championing this impact investing thing all over. We need to learn to put our money where our mouths are and make the impact. And so basically the idea is that you're going to make a return, but you should make sure that your money is not negatively impacting society and affecting the environment. That's the trust of impact investing. So everything we do must bring value to society. Since its first emergence, the notion of corporate social responsibility has moved from ideology to reality. Today, it represents an important dimension in contemporary business practices, and it promotes open innovation. The concept of created share value recognizes that societal needs, not just conventional economic ones, define markets. This should include scientific merit as well as the overall contribution to society. Metrics for quantifying scientific contributions have been deployed over the years. Journal, quality, impact factor, number of citations, and all that. As have measures of financial success, patents, licensing, royalties. That's where we are going. And that's where the collaboration discussion should focus. However, the social impact associated with corporate social responsibility and created shared value is still vague. The development of sustainable metrics to assess and evaluate research overall contribution lies at the academician, and it is their responsibility to address this complex topic. Metrics promote the high quality of fundamental research, reward scientific breakthroughs, enhance open innovation and partnerships with total neglect to society is not worth considering. It is therefore imperative that metrics also facilitate and enhance contributions to society. A genuine concern for society in all actions and decisions should become the norm and an integral part of the innovation process. Let me now focus on how we can build successful partnership between academia and industry. It is important to highlight that there are traditional collaborative conflicts between academia and industry. It's been there. This includes, among others, confidentiality, publishing, intellectual property rights, and ownership. So let's deal with it. Let's deal with intellectual property rights, because it's one of the big issues that we need to look at. The mindsets and research focus on two institutions are also quite different. While university is mainly focused on fundamental research, industry works primarily on development. So consequently, sustained effort to advance university innovations are needed. Building bridges between university researchers and businesses is critical for knowledge transfer. This is no longer an option, but it's a must. In this regard, these are some of my thoughts. What does it take to get a partner? It is important to highlight that for a venture capitalist like myself, how an academic institution can leverage their assets to secure funding in a tight economy and also deliver return on investment all comes down to the people. Because that's really what venture capitalists invest in. We are very quick to tell you that we invest in jockeys, not the horses. And it's just pretty much the idea that the venture capitalists have. Because we believe that mediocre technology in the hands of a superb team can solve. Whereas superior technology in the hands of a mediocre team will go nowhere. And like I said, money goes where good ideas are. With strong stewardship. It's very important. You cannot put round pegs in a square holes and expect results. It is for this reason academia must prioritize human resources with the requisite capacity to lead partnership process with industry. This is a skill that must be learned with deliberate and concerted efforts. Innovation and incubation. Securing industry funding for very early stage projects is difficult because industry usually is looking for much riper technologies to support and invest in. Therefore, it is important academia takes steps to bring promising projects to the point where they could be considered for collaboration by industry. But if we start it early and we have an agenda that we are working on, it makes it easier. New product development stage, providing what is known as the front end of innovation into a potentially marketable product or service, which can be taken up by industry for commercialization and diffusion, thus translating projects into economic value. What is happening is that we are setting up hubs and entrepreneurship centers in the universities, which is a good way of promoting entrepreneurship and building entrepreneurs for the future. But we need innovation hubs for the professors, for the academicians. We need to have professors working with students on ideas. The experience of professors in the long years of research comes to bear on new ideas young students are looking to propound. So we need labs, and our labs must be equipped where we can test some of these ideas. So if we leave the entrepreneurship centers for only to develop students, they are not really benefiting from the full knowledge within the campuses of universities. And we must fully utilize that because we are not utilizing it. We need academia in the hubs with the student in testing the ideas and making sure that they work. Industry comes and they rely on the team, which is a professor and a student working on an idea to commercialize it. So we should not be setting up centers only for students because the students need their professors in there. And then it drives industry in. Mostly industry, or as an investor, you want to look at a product that is scalable, but that is also commercially viable. And that is the work of the incubation within the campus and innovation hubs that we have. And we need to involve the professors in doing so. It's also one option. And to drive home this point, it is important to reiterate that researchers and industrialists don't mix very well. They are like oil and water. Because they have very different goals, everybody goes its own way, they never mix. Have to find ways of making that mix. Researchers are striving to find the truth. And the industrialist is striving to find a profit. There should be a way in between that we solve this problem. The researcher wants to disclose his findings to the wider world, and the industrialist doesn't necessarily want that. For this reason, industry invests in entrepreneurs in residence. Entrepreneurs in residence are people who have been there, done it before, and very experienced. The venture community tries to bring them in-house and use them again and again in their decision-making processes. It will be important that academia also create their entrepreneurs in residence to facilitate the transits of projects to industry and from companies to licenses. Industry is doing entrepreneur in residence. We need to do entrepreneur in residence here in academia. So you definitely don't fit when you come within academia as an industry person. That the above practical steps constitute a blueprint for jump-starting the process that is required to meet the innovation challenges facing academia and industry. We definitely need each other, and together we can make it happen. To effectively cope with the accelerating development of science and technology, universities and industry need each other. The process requires passion and committed leaders because it's not easy. Academicians and human resources and other organizations that are change focused should be coming together to change mindsets because that's paramount to start with. And partnership offers opportunity to co-innovate for the future. And as I started, sometimes when we talk about the future, it seems it's just very far off. That is not our time yet. Well, it's our time because the future is now. So let's get this going to make Ghana a leading innovation hub with UCC being at the center of it. So let's go. Thank you very much.
If we still have enough strength in our bosom, let's appreciate our guest speaker. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam. And listening to her, I was reflecting on a number of moves that the University of Cape Coast is making. The very theme that the current Vice Chancellor is riding on, and how major centers, department, faculties have picked this up and they are running with it. Just last week, the Center for Coastal Management here at the University of Cape Coast, together with CECED, were in Accra meeting industry, meeting students to put up a new curriculum that reflects what industry needs. And if Professor Heto is here, Dr. David Amatefio is here, I'm sure they're just nodding. Let's appreciate her once again. Let's do this. We'll take a cultural performance by the Department of Music and Dance here at the University of Cape Coast. May I kindly remind the protocol that as we get the new people coming in, you usher them to the front. This is a 3-in-1 program, and we want it as beautiful as we have begun. If the cultural troop ready? Okay, if they are not ready, I guess we can just continue this and pick up the pre-launch remarks by the director of Drake, Professor Frederick Ato Ama. Please let's welcome him with a hand of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, as is wont, I would also say that I want to stand on the protocols that have already been established to give the pre-launch remarks. Pretty shortly, the Vice Chancellor will launch 2 documents. The first is the UCC at 60 Innovation Report, which chronicles the innovations and inventions of faculty members since the university was established in 1962. As part of the process of collating the innovations, we needed to speak with a wide array of stakeholders, those that have been in the university when the university was in infancy, and those that have served the university for well over 4 to 5 decades. We had the privilege of speaking with a number of them, and we can see that in terms of our innovation trajectory, we've made a lot of progress. And I want to use this platform to thank all faculty members that provided innovations, provided inventions for us to chronicle. The idea of an innovation report gives expression to the fact that academia contributes to society. As our keynote speaker rightly noted, the University of Cape Coast is ranked number 1 in Ghana and West Africa, and it should be demonstrable in various facets, not only in the domain of research, but also in the domain of innovation. And I believe that this particular document that the Vice Chancellor will launch would demonstrate that we have also contributed to societal benefit. I want to seize this opportunity to thank a few faculty innovations. I want to mention them because they do not just provide the innovations, but they also give audience to us to talk about how the university must progress. Now, we have to ask ourselves the question, in the next 40 years, when the university turns 100, many of us might not be here, but what will posterity say of us? What would we have bequeathed to posterity? And I believe that the reflection sessions of the report is very, very important and gives expression to some of these things that we have seen in this particular report. I want to particularly acknowledge Emeritus Professor Divine Edem Kobla Amenume. I want to acknowledge Professor Kojo Nziba Eisen. I want to acknowledge Professor Samuel Yabua Mensah, Professor Kingsley Bua Baswa, Dr. Gladys Nachiche Baxton,